Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to make chewy 4-chip oatmeal cookies. So these are going to be oatmeal cookies with some chocolate chips in, but I'm using a combination of chocolate chips, dark chocolate chips, white chocolate chips, some little toffee nuggets and some little gold pearls. And basically you can use whatever you want. You can use just dark chocolate chips, just white chocolate, a combination of those, add some milk chocolate, whatever you want really. And so it's just a chewy oatmeal cookie with some chocolate chips or something like that in. So it's a very simple recipe, and we start off by preheating our oven to 190 degrees Celsius, 170 Celsius with a fan, 375 Fahrenheit, and we line a couple of baking trays with parchment paper or with silicone mats. So I'll go on to the ingredients, and for this I have 140 grams, which is 1 cup minus 1 tablespoon of plain flour. That's based on scooping packed flour into a 250 milliliter cup. I have 255 grams, which is 3 cups of old-fashioned rolled oats. So these are tend to be the oats with the slightly larger flake. Now you could use porridge oats. I don't think they're quite as good, but you could use those if that's all that you have. But I've got the old-fashioned rolled oats, so that's what I'm using, and that's 3 cups. I have 85 grams, 6 tablespoons of melted butter, unsalted butter, which I'm allowing to cool down. And I have 80 milliliters, a third of a cup of a flavourless oil. I have 150 grams, 3/4 of a cup of dark sugar, 100 grams, half a cup of caster sugar or granulated sugar would be fine. I have 1 medium egg, which would be large in the USA, and 1 medium egg yolk, again large in the USA. 3 grams, half a teaspoon of salt, 2 grams, half a teaspoon of baking soda, bicarbonate of soda, 1 gram, 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, which is optional, and 5 milliliters, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. That's all the ingredients, and we're going to mix those together and form cookies. Sorry, the one ingredient I forgot to mention was 1 cup, 180 grams of my 4 chips. So my dark chocolate chips, my white chocolate chips, my gold pearls, and the gold pearls and the little toffee pieces. So that's the final ingredient, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put into my flour the baking powder, the salt and the ground cinnamon, and I'm going to give those a stir around to get those mixed into the flour. Then I'll set that aside. And then I'll take a large bowl and I'll put into the bowl my oil and my melted butter, and I'll mix those around. And then I'll add in my vanilla extract and my egg, the whole egg and the egg yolk, and I'll whisk those around. And then I'm going to add my sugar into that as well. Now I'll whisk that until that sugar is broken up and fully combined. That's good. So then I'll add in my flour mixture and I'll mix that through as well. And with that just about mixed through, I'm going to add in the oats and my chips, and I'm going to mix those through until I have a nice thick mixture, and it's going to be very thick. And with that mixed to a very stiff mixture, I'm going to divide it up and put it onto baking sheets. And for that I'm going to use an ice cream scoop which holds about 2.5 tablespoons. So sort of 37 millilitres, something like that. And I'm simply going to put that onto the baking sheet, and I'll divide it up first and then I'll shape them a little bit later. And I'll leave a gap between each one. And there I have 16 scooped out, and I still have more mixture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some wet fingers and I'm going to shape those and flatten them into a little disc of roughly the same size. And I've left a good gap because they're going to spread as they bake. And with those just flattened out like that, I'm going to put those into the oven and I'm going to bake them for about 10 minutes, 9 to 12 minutes, until they begin to colour slightly around the edges. They will flatten the colour slightly around the edges. They won't take on too much colour, but at that stage, after 9, 10, 11 minutes, I'll take them out of the oven and they'll be very soft. They'll be soft around the edge and even softer in the centre. I'll leave them on the tray for 5 minutes, then I'll gently transfer them to a wire rack and bake off the remainder, and then when they've all cooled down I'll come back and we'll have a taste. I baked the Chewy 4-chip oatmeal cookies for 10 minutes. Then I took them out of the oven and left them on the trays for 5 minutes. Then I transferred them to a wire rack to cool, and this is what they look like. So they baked up very nicely, and they're nice and firm on the outside, but they're chewy in the centre. So I'll have a taste of one which I've already been nibbling. They have such a good flavour. Very nice and crisp on the edge and slightly crisp on the top as well, but in the interior, in the centre of the cookies, nice and chewy, and I get a lovely chocolate flavour and a slight little hit when I hit one of those golden pearls. There's a slight tang to those as well. Very, very good. And as I said, you can use whatever you want. You can use all one chocolate chip, you can use a combination of chocolate chip, you could even put a few little nuts in if you wanted to. So very simple recipe, easy to make, and it doesn't take very long, but it's worthwhile. So that's going to be it for today, and I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for the recipe, and I'll put a link below the video as well, and I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.